Good afternoon, Pool Player Nation. Welcome back to Orlando, Florida for continuing coverage of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship presented by the APA. Our coverage, of course, brought to you by our good friends at PoolDog.com. I'm your host, Jason Bowman. I'm joined by Team USA Moscone Cup Captain Double J, Jeremy Jones. Jeremy, after a couple of matches on the one-loss side of the bracket this morning, our next match is featuring two players who have yet to suffer a defeat in this tournament.
Yeah, they have tough shoes to fill because the one-loss side matches have been pretty stellar. A little one-sided, but pretty stellar play so far. So a lot of heat on these two trying to stay undefeated.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick look at the format for the U.S. Amateur Championship. The Open Division is a double elimination race to 7. That'll feature 5 games of 8-ball, up to 8 games of 9-ball. The winner of the lag can opt to choose either the format or take the break. And our match here this afternoon is going to feature James Adams of Brooksville, Florida, versus Randall Hall of Seneth, Missouri. Players are ready to get things started, so let's take you down into the pit and get this match underway. And it'll be Randall Hall at the table first with the break. Jeremy, did you happen to catch the lag?
I did. Randall won the lag.
Okay.
Immediately said, I'll take the break, and James racked up all 15. So we start with 8-ball and another dry break.
Now we'll get a look at James Adams. Right down the road in Brooksville, Florida. Not too far from here, a couple hours away.
Yeah, James a very solid player and someone who's played in this U.S. Amateur.
Several times,
Yeah,
several times.
quite a few times. And I think I know Randall as well. Don't think it's from the U.S. Amateurs, but he's from Missouri, so maybe caught him somewhere in the Midwest, not so far away from Texas.
And James has finished as high as 3rd place in the U.S. Amateur Championship. He's got a couple of 5th place finishes as well, so very accomplished player here.
And he's got a 14 ball he wants to get to shortly. He's good on the 15 here. A 12 ball out in the middle of the table can be an awkward one at times. May end up leaving that kind of last, maybe. Pinch over for the 14 next, the 9, and then come down table. Now here he wants to get that desired angle. Is he going to come out for the 12 next, trying to take away that problem? Yeah, a little shy of his mark there. Got pretty straight on the 9 as well. I think he was really trying to roll out for the 12 there, but you can see very straight here on the 9 ball, so want some movement on the cue ball. He's going to have to get into it a little bit. A little speed required. Probably draw on the cue ball. Watch out for the side pocket. His bridge hands over. And I'm not sure he got on much here besides a very difficult 13 ball. I'm really not sure he can hit it easy enough to hold for the 10 either. Now, can he come up into the 6, try and hold the cue ball with the 6? Maybe that'll hold him for the 10 while trying to take this 13 on.
Randall Hall returns to the table. Again, he's out of Seneth, Missouri.
Definitely know the face and watched him hit some balls warming up. Looks very capable. Of course, it only makes sense with these two being undefeated. Little jacked up here. Well, went for it a little more than I expected. James, I'm not sure what he can do with the 13. He's got the 10 right in front of him here. And could set up for a bank on the 13 maybe. Could draw the cue ball trying to get short side, but I don't really see the future in that. Well, definitely got behind it.
James won his first match of the tournament yesterday, 7-1 over Mark Stevis. And won again last night against David Barnes. A little bit closer match, 7-5. Now squaring off here with Randall Hall. Matchup of undefeateds.
Yeah, and that last one, the 13 in the side, if that shows you anything about confidence, really took that on with a lot of speed. Now in a great position to take game one. Get to the breaking end.
Pockets that 8 in the side. James Adams with a 1-0 lead in this race to 7. As they prepare the next rack, we're going to take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors. And we're back here in Orlando, Florida, continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. The Open Division started with 128 players. The two we have featured in this match still undefeated. James Adams at the table with the break. 8-ball moving. 8-ball is down. And a quick 2-0 lead for James Adams, folks. Very impressive. We will have the break once again. And just like that, we're going to take another quick break and hear a word from our sponsors. And once again, we're back in action at the U.S. Amateur Championship. James Adams, after an 8 on the break, with a 2-0 lead in this race to 7. Jeremy, we'll see if he gets the 8-ball moving again.
Yeah, it's another benefit of the second ball break. You get a little more movement on the 8.
Not much happening there.
The 10? The 10's coming.
10 does drop. James will remain at the table, shooting the high balls.
Yeah, real limited, but he does have a shot on the 14. We'll survey the 11, but I think the 14 is going to be the one.
We were just talking amongst ourselves. That's the first on the break we've seen in 8 or 9 ball. Now on day 3 of our coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Of course, coverage brought to you by our good friends at pooldog.com.
Yeah, it looks like he's got to come across into the 1 and 13. And here you just don't want to hit the bottom of the 13, send the cue ball down here to this bottom rail. You'd like to go into the 1. That's what I was talking about, hitting the bottom of not only a scratch possibility, but it's going to be hard to maybe get a shot from this bottom rail as well.
He does scratch, gives ball in hand to Randall.
Pretty open. Probably wants to take the 4-5 first. Then the 3 and then the 7 kind of leads you towards this other end of the table where the 1, 2, 6 are in position. Okay, decided to peel off the 3 first.
As a reminder, we'll see 5 games in the 8-ball set before we switch over to the 9-ball portion of the match.
Nice shot there, getting in position on the 1. May go ahead and peel the 7 off, and while he's there, he can hold that position again for the 1. Then drop on the 2 and 6 and the 8 last. I'd probably go ahead and take the 7 away. The reason why you don't really see the 7 as a helping ball for one reason or another. No, he's left the 7, so he wants to carry an angle on the 2 after shooting the 6 in. Didn't want to get too straight, certainly not on the rail with the cue ball. Lots of openings, or quite a bit of an open table. Up table. Okay, he held that nice natural angle. He can go around the 11. Just got to pick out the speed and the target to get on that 7. Is he going to try and fall between the 8 and 13 maybe with the cue ball? He's going to get that gap, but he's going away from the 8 a little bit. Now the 8 does pass the 11, so he's got to make a decision. Do I just try to hold there for the 8 by the 11 in the lower left corner? And certainly work the cue ball. Looks like he's going to elect to move the cue ball maybe a couple rails over. Oh, this needs to slow down a little bit. This could get on top of the 8 in a funny manner. Not too bad, but definitely a little awkward. Ooh.
Missed 8 in the side for Randall Hall. Brings James Adams back to the table with a lot of room to work and a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, we've seen those diamond side pockets time and time again. There's no rail. You can run them in like the corners.
I feel like that particular side as well has been a little bit of an issue for players last couple days. See if James can take advantage.
It could get funny here. Okay, got a nice bump. But if he stayed on that ball, he was going to be shooting elevated at the 12, maybe no shot on the 13 or the 11 with the 8 hanging. So, these balls out in the open, very important to pay attention to position. I wonder if he's looked at the 13 itself. It's kind of straight in the corner, I think. I would at least look at it. Yeah, I think that would solve a lot of problems if you're comfortable with this shot.
James Adams takes advantage of the mistake by Randall Hall there, pockets that 8 in the side, extends his lead, and he will retain the break when we come back in just a few moments.
Hey, listen, I know that you don't play pool, but my league team is looking for someone tonight who's never played, so you're coming with. Great, I'll see you there. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
hey,
Welcome.
meet you.
Welcome back. I can't believe it. You did it. We're going to Vegas. Vegas, baby. Oh my.
And welcome back to continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship from Orlando, Florida. James Adams at the table, leading 3-0. He has the break once again in the 8-ball set. Drops the Q in the side and then the 9 in the side. So table will remain open.
Yeah, broke those balls really well. Second ball break came across, got a little rub with the cue ball, got lost in the side pocket. Now Randall Hall back at it. Let that 8 get away, get on the board, but now ball in hand. Both very runnable. The solids or the stripes, but looks like he's going to take on the 5. Wants to get to that 6-7 as quick as possible. And if he takes on the 5, you might as well go ahead and get rid of the 2 afterwards. Maybe something like 5-2-1-3-7-6. You want to kind of have a plan, but you also can't be stubborn to change plans because the roll of the ball will make you have to change your mind. That happens quickly and it doesn't take much. End up a little short there for the 1 on the side. It's still playable, but we talked about it in the last match. Anytime you're on a thin cut on an object ball playing 8-ball, cue ball's going to have speed. So you don't want to get balls rearranged very often. This may work out. Tell you what, I'd have to look at the side pocket here to roll this 7 in. It's not easy, but at least that gets you position onto the 6. I think if you play the corner, maybe you can hit it easy enough. I don't know. Nice shot there. I think that was very necessary as well. It's pretty natural to come 1, maybe 2 rails between the 10-8. Out for the 1 in the side. Now the 8 does pass the 13. It's a little snug. Landing on the rail with a cue ball. So anytime the ball's tight going by another, cue ball being on the rails, no helper. So a demanding shot here for Randall to get on the board.
Second rack in a row where Randall has failed to pocket the 8. We'll see if James Adams can make him pay once again. A lot of room to work.
Yeah, nice run by James in game number 1. The 8 on the break in game 2. And like you said, a missed 8 in game 3 for Randall, and now in game 4 as well. That was a difficult shot, I think, to just a portion of the pocket. And like I said, anytime that cue ball lands on the rail, you're just going to lose accuracy, it seems. And he wants to look at that 12 ball. Probably wants to get at that next if he can. I think it does slide by the 8, but that's a little tight. So may as well just kind of nip draw above the 8 and play the 12 next. Should go ahead and fall on the 15 next, leave the 14 last. Really cheated the pocket there, getting a lot more out of the cue ball. And now just a layup for James on the 8.
James once again takes advantage. Pockets that 8 in the corner, extends his lead, retains the break. We'll have one more rack in the 8-ball set. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a few moments. Back at it here in Orlando, Florida, continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. James Adams now with a 4-0 lead in this race to 7. And breaking yet again. Final game of the 8-ball set.
Oh, he's really got the timing on that second ball break down. Looks like he's made 2 stripes, I believe, and he's got a shot on the 11. Got some work. He can roll into the 7, it looks like, to hold the cue ball. It's really limited on his opening shot, so that'll be the first one. And you know the timing's really good whenever you're breaking second ball and getting these kind of spreads. Really no clusters. Real open center of the table. He's going to have to think about how he wants to get on this 12 and 14 after he knocks in this 9 and 10. Wants an angle. Should be pretty good. Now he's just got to think about the route and the speed. Don't think the 12 passes the 14 in the lower right corner. That would help things tremendously, but I think maybe he's got to come all the way down just for the 14. Maybe he just comes one rail, trying to get in that gap kind of next to the 8 to have a cut shot on the 14. That actually is the smarter shot, because not only do you get position the quickest, which is always good, but it really opens up. Caught that a little thick, so he wanted to probably be a hair closer to this 14, but he's still on line. All right, watch out. He's got to avoid the 1, and the cue ball's going to be floating towards the pink 4 near that side pocket. It looks like neither one of the middle sides are available, so he's going to have to maybe draw it back a few inches. Looking to see if the 8 passes the 3 in the corner. I'm kind of guessing it doesn't. Yeah, just crept into position. He knew it was going to be subtle. Very touchy. Looks like Jason. All James Adams in the 8-ball side of things here.
Clean sweep. Takes the 8-ball portion of the match 5-0. And a commanding lead here, Jeremy. Prepare for the 9-ball set. We're going to take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. The Wyndham Resort in Orlando, Florida. James Adams with a 5-0 lead in this race to 7. He has the break. We are now into the 9-ball set. It has been all Mr. Adams thus far. A couple of missed 8 balls by his opponent, Randall Hall. Otherwise, all James. Ball on the break there.
Yeah, it looks like the 1-2 combination is available. Not easy. Anytime you're playing a combination that's ball's not hanging, very demanding, but I think it is doable. Kind of sits a little funny. You're not going to ease it with the 8 there. You kind of have, the 1's going to come up with any speed, most likely. There's a cut on the 2 there, so looks like he's coming off the right, going to play safe behind the 2 ball. How's the touch? Very good.
Randall Hall back to the table. A little bit of an uphill climb now for him. I need to make some magic happen here in the 9-ball set.
Yeah, we can't tell, but this cue ball got a little underneath the 2 as well, so I don't think he can easily come to the short rail. I think he's got to go to the side cushion, then the short rail, and then try to straighten the cue ball out, attacking it at the 1. Should be some speed on this. Really good. Really good. No, maybe not the result he totally wanted, but a great hit. Well, James, we'll see. Combination plays, the bank plays. Got to feel like it's the combination. Key to this one, I think, don't baby it too much. I think the 1 will come out a little bit. Trying to go 1 rail into the 8. Yeah, I like that play. Should come down the rail beside the 8 for the 3 in the side. Should get him to the 4 pretty easily. May have to cheat the pocket a little bit here on the 1. I think he can do that with a high ball. Maybe a little bit of right English. Oh, he put left. He's going to try and come at the 3. Caught the 1 a little thick. Didn't get the movement on the cue ball that he desired. And now in a little bit of a situation. No, he's going with the high ball. So he can shoot this in the corner and get past the side. Watch out for the point. Trying to get across for the 4. No joke from James here today, Jason.
No. He woke up on the right side of the bed.
Got him some rest. After a beautiful safety to open here. Game number 6 now. Oh, first little kind of mistake. Didn't open up the cue ball with any spin. Probably knocks the 5 away. He's played pretty smart. Didn't let one little mistake get him kind of out of line mentally. More of the same here from James. Well, that's an opening. I mean, a kick shot, you always want to be kicking to maybe make the ball, especially if it's hanging. Kind of kick the players like to hit with a little speed here.
Nice.
Really nice. Not a whole lot James could do about that. Played a nice safety. The 5 caught the point. Randall just played a little bit better kick shot. Well, he bumped this in an odd manner. Great shot on the 6, but he is going away from the 9, close to the 8, so that usually means it's kind of hard to move the cue ball. Well, I got a little more out of it than I thought.
See if Randall can pick up this 9 ball and his first point of the match.
Oh, no. Cue ball. It's going to be
He's
okay.
fine. There we
Yeah.
go. Randall Hall on the board with his first point. Trailing 5-1. He will have his opportunity to break in the 9-ball set when we come back in just a few moments. We're back here in Orlando, Florida, continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Randall Hall just picked up his first point of the match, now has the break in the 9-ball set. Looking to climb back in this match. 9-ball moving. But a dry break. James Adams back to the table.
Yeah, and he's, I think, narrowly snookered at pocketing the one. Maybe able to play a soft swerve. Maybe able to get right at it. Looks like he's going to edge the one and run the cue ball. Few safeties here. He could bank the one down between the 6 and the 5, bringing the cue ball over to the right behind the 2. Could run off either edge of the one as well, like this. I like that shot myself. Shot you definitely should work on. Nice solid hit. Trying to hold the cue ball behind the 4, bringing the 1 down. Pretty successful. Did leave a little piece of the 1, I think. Not sure how much really Randall can not only hit of the 1, but what he can do with that little piece of the 1 he has. 2 real kick at the 1, not so bad. Maybe shaking the 9 around a little bit. If he can catch enough of the 1 to bank it up table, that would really be ideal. Like cueing it with some high right. Oh, he caught the 7, and the 1-9 is really lined up for the side. I was looking at it. If the 7 was gone, I would have 2-rail kicked at it, and I think James will look at this. I'd be really surprised if he doesn't look at this combination. Yeah, I mean, this is really close to sitting just as good as it can.
This would give James a 6-1 lead, put him on the hill.
Yeah, here it's hard for it to hang and sit right there. It's not impossible, of course, but you just don't want to rifle it. Don't make the pocket any smaller. I don't think safety's required. All effort at making the 9.
Just like that, a 6-1 lead for James Adams. Needs just 1 more rack to advance on the undefeated side of the bracket. He will have the break when we return in just a moment. Jonathan Neiman at the table, or as some have affectionately referred to him, the Mullet Man.
And he did tell me that he's going to cut it all off if he wins today.
Really?
So, oh, yeah.
And he's got it. Jonathan Neiman, Wilmington, North Carolina, your 8-ball classic champion in the red tier, folks.
How's my hair looking?
Your hair is looking good. In fact, I believe Ava and Jason were talking about it, that if you won, you were going to cut it.
I did say that. I did say that.
It's worth it! It's so worth it!
Back here in Orlando, Florida. 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship. James Adams at the table with a commanding 6-1 lead. Needs just one more point to remain on the undefeated side of the bracket. See if he can get the 9-ball moving here. Already has an 8 on the break in this match. Why not finish it with a 9? Well, no movement on the 9-ball, but he did pocket the 2 on the break.
And he's got a shot on the 1. A little bit awkward cueing with the 5 there for the bridge. 6 may kind of make things difficult to really move the cue ball a whole lot. So we'll see. Not taking much time though. So feeling good.
Little luck there for James.
I'll tell you what, it's the coolest looking fluke there is though when you catch the point and run it down the rail from the side. Doesn't happen too often, but really incredible how it does, and pretty consistent when it hits that point just right. Now James, of course, with a big lead, not wanting to take any shots off and take any real chances. A couple reasons, of course, you can't overlook a lead and kind of think it's the game's in the bag. Plus, he's got more matches to try and win in this tournament, so he wants to stay in that game mode. Looks like he's going for the 3-9, though. Definitely an underdog here.
What a shot. James Adams finishes it off with the 3-9 combination, dominating 7-1 victory. Jeremy, you called that one, buddy. All right, folks, there you have it. James Adams will remain undefeated, and we will be back in just a little while with continuing coverage of this year's U.S. Amateur Championship. Thank you for tuning in.